Hey lovelies, this is Janelle, the relationship coach behind The Successful Invisible. And I wanted to bring you another episode of Response and React about something that's been popping up on my timeline recently. And that is Young Thug proposing to Mariah the Scientist. I'm not saying this proposal was fake. I'm saying it felt calculated because when a man proposes on your stage during your moment at your peak, that's not automatically romantic. Sometimes it's just a move. And before anybody starts yelling hater, let me be clear. I love love. I love marriage. I love commitment done right. But I also love pattern recognition. And this one, yeah, my intuition stood up immediately. So let's talk about why Young Thug's proposal to Mariah the Scientist has a lot of women side eyeing, a lot of men uncomfortable, and why a ring is not always the prize people think it is.
I tried to only make one video about this Mariah the Scientist Young Thug proposal shit, right? But it just came on my timeline again. The first time I watched it, it was like 1, 2 in the morning. In the bed with Shorty, you know what I'm saying? She like, look at this video. I'm like, oh man, that nigga. All I heard was, I guess we're getting married. I'm watching it now. This nigga grabbed her like Mortal Kombat Scorpion. Get over here. And then after he yanked her to him, he didn't even say nothing, just sitting there with the ring. He stand up. He didn't say, will you marry me? He sat there, looked his girl in the eyes and said, so what you say, nigga? So what you say, nigga? Oh, nah. He talking to her like she wife and Lucci or something. And then I heard somebody say, so who gonna wear the dress? So, and this is not even comedy because he might pull a Dennis Rodman, knowing Young Thug. And I'm thinking he the type nigga that if her dress look better than his outfit, he gonna tell her she gotta change. You know you're not supposed to see your wife until the day of. He gonna walk back there and say, nah. I feel like he gonna be the groom and one of the bridesmaids. This nigga Young Thug gonna be bridezilla.
Yesterday, Young Thug proposed to Mariah the Scientist at his homecoming show in Atlanta. We talked about her saying she was ready for marriage.
I want to be married.
Okay.
And I want to have...
Did everybody get the memo on that? That has to...
I hope so.
And boom, it happened yesterday. Let's take a listen to what we can hear from the proposal on stage.
What'd you say? I guess I'm getting married.
So there's like this huge stage. She's on the stage. Behind Mariah is Will You Marry Me? She turns and Young Thug is down on one knee. The ring is ringing, baby, okay? And she says, yes, I guess we're getting married. So congratulations to those two.
I'm happy for them. If she's
Yes,
happy,
That's amazing.
I'm happy.
Yep.
I am too.
What you mean if she's... He said it like this.
Men that have to do an engagement publicly while their soon-to-be wife is at work, they have to do that because they understand that if they get a group of friends and family of the soon-to-be bride, fiance, they're not going to gain the approval of her friends and her family. See, a man rather embarrass you and put you on the spot by doing an engagement while you're working, where your job is on a stage in front of hundreds of thousands of people, before they would ever allow themselves to be embarrassed by looking at the look on everybody's faces when you decide that you're going to ask for your girlfriend to become your wife, knowing that her friends don't like you, knowing that her family does not like you. And you see this a lot between this dynamic of like the well-spoken, affluent, silver spoon-fed woman with the hood dude. You know what I mean? The thug and the guy who is rough around the edges and stuff like that. These are the type of men that are always going to be like, oh yeah, we need to elope to get married. We need to do a public engagement, you know, at a restaurant together in front of a ton of people that we don't know. That way I could put your back up against the corner and you're going to feel obligated to say yes. But I don't have to deal with the embarrassment of you potentially saying no because your friends and your families are here and they may have an influence on you. The only reason why he decided to ask to get married in the first place is because Young Thug needs a rebrand. After his whole stint with the Rico trial and then him having and dropping an album since then, his album and music career, it's never going to take off again. It's never going to reach the peak in which it did. And I think we underestimate the fact that a lot of men like to use marriage as a rebrand, okay? They like to use marriage as a way that is going to change the public perception of them, and it's going to change how people receive them. And a lot of rappers love to use R&B singers to help them create a new image in order to be able to rebrand. That way, when they come back, they can be more popular to the masses. It's kind of like Snoop Dogg, right? Except obviously Snoop Dogg didn't get married, but I'm sorry, Snoop Dogg wanted to tap into a larger audience outside of black people. So what did he do? This is when he ended up collaborating with Martha Stewart, right? He did a rebrand. People that rock with Snoop Dogg for a long time understand that, like, that OG, that like very tough, hard guy type of thing with him. That was from a long, long time ago. He has made it his business to make sure that he does not have the personification of that type of person anymore. He has not been like that in a very, very long time. And the reason being is because men are very strategic, and a lot of men want to use marriage or their proximity to women. They will want to use their proximity to women in order to be able to rebrand. And a lot of men who are known for being rough around the edges, they really like to cling on to R&B artists in the industry to be able to come off a lot more soft, to be able to show that they're effeminate and that they can bond with the feminine and bond with women and things like that. That's the only reason why he is marrying her. He's literally only doing it as a strategic move for his own benefit, because we all know that Mariah the Scientist isn't going to gain any benefit by being married to him. We already know how this goes. We already know the story between the good girl and then the thug, the hood dude. That shit never goes well. And it's highly beneficial for the hood dude, because then people get to look at him and be like, oh, well, you got a good girl that likes you. And so that must be saying something a whole lot about you, right? The only reputation that the good girl is going to get is the fact like, oh yeah, like she's dealing with these hard dudes. And most of the time it's just the mindset of like, what does she even see in this guy? Why is she even with this dude? Like, come on, it's Young Thug. I mean, come on.
The sooner that women realize that the ring is not always the reward and sometimes it's really just a curse, the better off we'll be. I know for a lot of women, the ring is like the end goal for them when it comes to them being with their man. Of course, you want to be married, have children, whatever the case may be. But when a man gives you a ring to shut you the fuck up, that's a man that quite literally hates you, okay? Because he didn't give you that ring because he wanted to marry you. He gave you that ring because you've been talking about it. And he said, hey, let me just give her a ring because I really don't want her, but I don't want nobody else to have her right now. So I'm going to just string her along with this ring for the next couple of years, promising that we'll get married. We're going to be planning our wedding. And in the meantime, I'm going to continue to do what the fuck I want to do. Although I've embarrassed her throughout the years and I've continued to embarrass her, I'm going to embarrass her even more when we get to the time of us getting married. I feel like that's what Thug did with Mariah. And I feel so bad for her because I love me some Mariah. But what I hope she does in this situation is continue on with her career, because I feel like he gave her that ring as well to sit her the fuck down. Her career is literally flourishing. She's doing so good. She's on tour. But that ring is going to put her career on a pause. It's going to halt everything because she's going to be so focused on trying to plan a wedding. He might even try and put a baby in her. That's when you know a nigga really hates you. baby will slow a woman down so fucking fast, and men know that, especially a man like Thug. So I feel like that's the intentions, and I feel like I hope she truly does not fall for that. I hope she waits and she doesn't let him put any type of children in her at any point in time right now, and she continues on focusing on her career, because that's all he wants her to do is stop and slow down on her career. She's doing great things right now, and anytime a woman is up and she's doing what she wants to be doing in her life and she's getting to a bag or whatever the case may be, men are secretly hating. They are. They can say they're not, but they're hating it. And they're wanting to stop her and slow her down. And that's all he did with this ring. And I hope Mariah is smart enough to realize that, and she stays completely focused on her career, because that nigga truly hates her. I believe it in my heart and my soul. And can't nobody convince me otherwise. Bye, TikTok.
Thug is running a very old play. These are old strategies, y'all. These are old strats. Ancient text. Thug is running a very old play on Mariah, and unfortunately, it's probably gonna work. Now, when you run this play, no one wins in the long term. Thug don't really win. Mariah definitely won't win. It's a very old play, but for whatever reason, it has a very high success rate. I embarrass you, I make you look stupid, woo-doo-woo-doo-woo, and I'm gonna just propose because that's gonna make everything. You always want to be married. I'm gonna give you what you want. And now I'm just doing the same thing I was doing to you in marriage. So now, like, there's a financial reason for you to be around. Guys, ladies specifically, don't fall for the play. It's a trick play. It really isn't even a trick play, but for whatever reason, it functions as one, because you know what the end result would be, but people act like they don't know what it is. Ladies, don't fall for this. This is our great-grandfathers was doing this. Our grandfathers, my daddy wasn't doing this. Praise God, I had a good father, but you get my point, guys. These are old texts. Ladies, be careful.
I think it's safe to say that Mariah the Scientist is exactly where she wants to be. There's no saving her. She has to save herself. Unfortunately, Young Thug has to cheat on her a few more times for her to really get it. We already saw this with Cardi and Offset. After this man dogged her out multiple times, she still stood right beside him. And now he's asking her for spousal support. All I'm saying is that y'all are wasting your booze. Y'all are wasting the leave her alone. He's not going to leave her alone until she wants to be left alone. And it's clear as day that she doesn't. Congratulations to the new couple. And yeah, that's really all you can really say about this engagement. One thing's for sure is that I know this divorce album is gonna go crazy. Truthfully, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. This is your average Atlanta love story, y'all, so don't be surprised. She's about to be the stepmother of like how many kids? 6, maybe 8? Mariah, please buckle up, because this man is about to take you for a ride.
I'm not a hater or nothing, but I don't know if happy is the word I would use to describe what I'm feeling for Mariah the Scientist. But also, congratulations on your new engagement to Young Thug.
Thank you. Put it out. What'd you say? I guess I'm getting married.
And listen, if they like it, I love it. I just hate this struggle love storyline that everybody think they gotta subscribe to. Like, this man gotta put you through so much, you gotta get on the radio and tell everybody that you wanna get married before you have kids for him to turn around and propose to you. Meanwhile, you was riding for him while he was locked up in that jail cell, making you look crazy on them phone calls. Embarrassing you on that jail phone. But you know, everybody's love story is different. So congratulations and wishing them all the best. And hopefully no more struggle love.
I know a lot of y'all might not see it this way, but if a man proposes to you while you are doing something for yourself, accomplishing something for yourself, he's your biggest hater. If you're graduating from school, he proposes, he's a hater. He's a hater. If you are having an opening for your business and he proposes, he is a fucking hater. When he gets on stage while you're literally performing in front of thousands and millions of people, it's a hater. He's a fucking hater. I know y'all might not see it that way. Because y'all feel like, oh no, it was a big The time of the essence was on you. You were doing something of your passion, your purpose, your energy, your success, your hard work. And he literally takes that time to say, I'm going to propose to you. Instead of recreating a whole nother time. He is a fucking hater. I don't care what y'all say. Holiday, all that shit don't be making sense. We have 365 days out the year. Sometimes 366. And he chooses the day that is all about you. No.
Let's jump into my favorite part of all of the content I post on YouTube. And that's just my thoughts, where I get to kind of express what I feel about whatever we have read or gone over. So let's get into it. All right, so let's get into this. So recently, Young Thug proposed to Mariah the Scientist, his girlfriend he's been dating for a while, while on the stage of her show. And this just really pissed me off. So going back a little bit, earlier this year and for the past couple years, Young Thug has been going through a lot with his legal troubles and, the state of Georgia and being corrupt and all that jazz. And finally, he came out from under that. And I'll link the video where I go into detail about some of his jail calls that leaked in that messiness from earlier this year. But she's been with this man through thick, through thin, through, rumors and then confirmation that he was having other women visit him while he was incarcerated, from him just showing that he is not a stand-up guy in terms of character. I think he has a lot of charisma. I think he has a lot of personality. But in terms of a partner, he's not that guy. And Mariah the Scientist I believe she got her name, if I'm recalling the story correctly, because she went to college and her major was biomedical engineering or biochemistry or something. She was actually going to school to be a scientist. So the moniker makes sense. So you have this beautiful young lady who is multi-talented, not just scholastically. Not only is she book smart, she also is artistically talented because she's out here rapping and she can draw a crowd, and a sizable crowd. So she has a lot going for her, and she has very far that she can go if she wants to. So dating somebody like Young Thug, who just seems to continually be messy in one way or another, legal wise, he's still out in the streets supposedly with YSL and all the things and dealing with other women, and she has been around. So him proposing to her, first of all, feels a little like a twist in the gut, because honestly, I always believed that she would grow past dating somebody like Young Thug, but she loves him. And we know love is blind, love is stupid, love is deaf and dumb, but she does love him. And I do believe that she genuinely does. And so she wants marriage, which is a logical next step when you're adults and you've been in a relationship with somebody. The problem with that my biggest problem with that is that this man's character has not been demonstrated, at least not publicly, to be the type of man that you are going to have a healthy marriage with. If a man can't stay faithful as a boyfriend, he's not going to be faithful as a husband. You know what I mean? If he's in mess and messiness when you're dating, why would you want to legally bind yourself to him? And now you're married to him, and in some aspects, actually many aspects, you are going to be responsible for his bullshit and shenanigans. So it's like, that's like off top, like one of the things that frustrated me. So let's go back to talk about when a man proposes to you during your moment. That's a tell. He didn't propose during his comeback, not during his celebration, or doing something that was focused on him. He proposed doing hers on her stage at her show in her moment. Let's call it what it is. It's very, it's very jealous hearted to me, but it's hijacking. He hijacked an achievement of her where she is performing on this public platform where people can come out to see her show. This is the same energy as a man is proposing at a woman's graduation. If he's proposing at the finish line of her marathon, if he's proposing the day of or the day after she launches a business or a business goes public, like that's not okay. So remember that before you fully step into this version of yourself, really understand that this man is your biggest op. Like, he is your op, because why is he trying to show you up at your celebration, at your big moment? That's messy. Second thing I really don't like about public proposals overall is that there can be an emotional pressure there. When there are other people around, women are more likely to say yes and less likely to say no. So there is safety in that subtle public pressure of a man proposing in public. And that's why, unless that's something the woman explicitly says she wants, I'm really not for those things, because I think it's a way of a man managing her and her emotions and her behavior as well as her reaction. Why would he do that? You know what I mean? Was he concerned that she maybe say no, or did he just want to hijack her moment and do something like and propose to her in the middle of her show? Another thing that, refers back to what I was saying earlier, like, a ring doesn't fix a man's character. Like, Slime, Young Thug's nickname, has not shown to be of a magnificent character in terms of a boyfriend. He has embarrassed her publicly, and he lacks a lot of discipline under pressure. And that is going to translate any traits you have while you're dating. They're just going to amplify or exacerbate when you get married. So if a man is showing these janky ass personality traits when y'all are dating, he is going to continue into marriage, and it's going to get worse, because basically by marrying him, you're saying you accept this part of him, or you accept him the way he is, even if you want better. So, and a character, doesn't upgrade just because you get married. I don't know why a lot of people think people change overnight because they get married. That rarely to never happens. It's best to bank on never. So what you got is what you got. Okay. Also, thinking of it from a strategic perspective, this is also something I see, that marriage is a common male rebrand strategy. So Slime just got out of all his legal trouble. He's just coming up from under things. He hasn't really been in the public eye since coming home, getting out and all that. So now he is doing a rebrand strategy. This is old, this is ancient, this is documented. When a man's image is shaky, when his career momentum kind of slows down, which happened because of all the legal stuff that was going on with him, and when his public reputation needs saving because those jail calls that leaked make him look like a really messy bitch, and people really, they was mad at him because he was just talking about everybody. This is a good strategy for him to rebrand his own image, right? But what it does also is it puts the woman's reputation at risk, and it increases her risk for loss. Women should never be used as a man's PR, and I think this is a component, not the whole story, but a component of what Slim Thug is doing to Mariah the Scientist. And she's just so happy to be engaged. I don't think she can clock that. Not that I think she's stupid. I just don't think she sees this very strategic move. And that's what I mean. This still feels more like strategy to me from his perspective. And then rings are often given by men who really don't want to marry a woman, but they want her presence there, but they also don't want her to go off and be with a dude that's going to treat her better. I think that's another reason why Slim Thug proposed. Her career is moving forward. She's visible. She's ascending. She's likable. She is engaging. You know what I mean? There's a lot of positives to her. So he can see her ascending and going further, and then getting with a dude that's going to treat her better. And now all of a sudden she's going to be focused on engagement and the wedding planning, pressure to settle, and then maybe even having a baby because, he gets people pregnant. That's not a coincidence. Men often want to marry and impregnate women, and a lot of times just for pregnant women, to slow them down. He is trying to slow her down. I am very disappointed that he is moving like this, because I did think that he could do better, but just seeing the way he's acted since coming home has been very eye-opening. So women really need to remember, if a man is proposing to you and you have some rocky points in recent history, especially of your relationship, really question it as why. Use all of those instances of where his character didn't show up. Well, faithfulness is a huge one. You know what I mean? His timing. Why is he proposing now? You know what I mean? What other benefits are coming to him from proposing to you? if you can clearly answer those questions, if you really thought about it, you may want to take a step back from that man in that relationship. I'm not saying this is every man, but I'm saying with Young Thug proposing to Mariah the Scientist, you get a very clear view that, yeah, marriage on the surface seems to be what it is, but there's so many other things deeper than that. And I don't love this for her, and I don't think this is the best. I don't think getting married to him is for her best and highest good. I don't think he's a bad guy, but I think she's blocking some really positive potential suitors that would be more aligned to her by staying with this guy. But like I said, he's charismatic and he's charming. I can tell that just from what I see, online and in his interviews and in his music and the way he does things. He has a lot of charisma, so I can see what the draw is. But I'm really sad that she's kind of enamored and caught up in that and not like, and she loves him too, supported by the love that she's like, not like, I need to take a step back from this. Everybody you love doesn't mean that's somebody you need to be with. And I don't think she's really assessed that. So let me know your thoughts about this proposal and what you think his whole motivation was in proposing to her like that. Because I don't trust it. I don't like it. And this is exactly why I always say a ring without safety, consistency, and character is not a reward. It's a responsibility. If this video made you pause, if you felt that something's off feeling but couldn't quite name it, that's not bitterness, that's discernment turning on. Inside my exclusive coaching community on Coffee, this is what we do in real time. We break down men's behavior without romanticizing red flags. We learn how to clock patterns before we're emotionally invested, and we help women choose patterns from clarity, not hope, pressure, or optics. If you're ready to stop being impressed by grand gestures and start being protected by standards, join me and my fellow ladies on Coffee. The link is below, because the goal isn't just marriage, it's peace, power, and partnership that doesn't cost you yourself.